Hello class, today we're doing Go 5 1.1. Go 5GO 1.1. Okay, let's get started. On our first question, they tell us that 40,000 is 10 times as much as 4,000. So let's take a look at that. When we recognize that 40,000 is the equal sign, okay? And then 10 times as much as what number? Okay, so here 4,000 is our answer because 4,000 times 10 equals 40,000. Okay, let's take a look now at number 2. On number 2, they say 90 is 1/10 of what number? Okay, so in other words, it takes 10 of these to make what number? And in our case, it would be 900. Okay, so 90 is 1/10, okay, of 900. Let's look at 800 here. Number 3, I'm doing even with you, so I'll leave number 3 for you. Let's look at number 4. Number 4 says 5,000 is 1/10 of what number? In other words, it would take 10 of these to make what number? For it to be 1/10 of it. In this case, that number would be 50,000. Okay, let's look at number 6. On number 6, we have a pattern. The pattern is 10 times as much as, okay? 10 times as much as. So we want 10 times as much as the number that is on the left here. So this number increased 10 times will give us this value. This number, 1/10 of it, okay, reduced into 10 parts will give us what number? Okay, so let's take a look. 7,000, 10 times as much as 7,000, okay? In other words, this is increased 10 times, would give us 70,000, okay? 1/10 of 7,000, that is, if we had 10 parts, if we broke this up into 10 parts, then that number value would be 700. Okay, let's take a look at our next one, number 8. 10 times as much. If we had 10 of these, then that value would be 800. Okay, and then this here, if we had 1/10 of it, in other words, broke it up into 10 parts, then that value would be 8. Okay, what you will discover, the pattern here, is that when you want 10 times as much as this number, then you are actually multiplying by 10. If you want 1/10 of the number, then you are actually dividing it into 10 parts. Okay, that's what you discover. So let's move on to this pattern here. Number 10, 900, 10 times as much as 900 is 9,000. Okay, all right, and then 1/10 of 900, let's fold this over just a little so you can see. 1/10 of 900 is 90. 12, 10 times as much as 500 is 5,000. 1/10 of 500 is 50. Okay, and let's move on to number 14. Number 14 says Mr. Wilson has $3,000 in his bank account. Miss Wilson has 10 times as much money in her bank account as Mr. Wilson has in his bank account. How much money does Miss Wilson have in her bank account? So if Miss Wilson Nelson, has 10 times as much as 3,000, then she has $30,000. Okay? She has 10 times as much as 3,000, then she has $30,000. And that is our lesson for today. See you in the morning.